But if you're gonna beat a bird dog and you want to go out there and take a couple estimations about what something's going to cost and you want to sell it to me, you can pretty safely use these numbers. All right, a roof, $5,000. Right, you can definitely get a roof cheaper than that, but the roofer might be drunk. I don't know why, but roofers drink. I don't know what it is, but they all drink. Maybe it's from being up so high. Windows, $175 per window to put a vinyl window in. So particularly when you're going to flip a house, and this is one of the differences between a $20,000 rental and a $35,000 flip. If you're going to flip it, you better believe that you're going to have to put all brand new windows in there. So you're going to have to put the vinyl windows in. So no one wants to see wood windows, which is what was built in the 80s. So a lot of those 80 homes will still have wood. And you're going to have to go in there about $175 a window. Kitchen cabinets, about $2,500. That's probably a little expensive. You could probably put cabinets in for $2,000. I think that's what I paid, $2,000 for the cabinets that you saw in my house that we're flipping now. But $25 is if there's a whole bunch of cabinets that need to go in. Paint, $2 a square foot is probably a pretty fair amount if you're going to be doing drywall work. That doesn't necessarily include your $2 a square foot. Your floors, $2 a square foot. Your heat pump. You should be able to know if you have to get a heat pump. Anything over 7 years, as you go in an investor, I would encourage you to consider replacing your heat pump. You're certainly not going to be able to sell it at a retail value with a heat pump that's over 7 years old. But one of the times I'll often do is if it's a borderline heat pump, and I'm going to rent the property, I will buy the heat pump, and then when I'm going out and I'm mortgaging out my money and I'm getting my money back, I don't have to worry about putting a heat pump in 2 years. I've got a heat pump that's going to last me 10 or 15 years. All right? A lot of times, the homes that you'll be looking at will have oil furnaces. Right? Oil furnaces are very expensive to run. Right? So if you have a renter, it's tough to get a renter in there because they don't pay $300 a month to heat it. Right? So, and if you have someone who you're trying to flip the property to them, well, no one wants to go in with oil for the exact same reason. So almost everybody nowadays wants a heat pump. And a lot of these capes, a lot of these ranchers, you have to rip those out and you have to put in not only your heat pump, but you got to put that duct work in there, right? Particularly if you got that baseboard heat. If you go in there and see baseboard heat, then you know there's no duct work in the house. There's probably an air conditioner vent in the window. Yes?
What if you go to have holes in the water that need sheetrock?
Really cheap. Really cheap.
Okay.
So you're looking at, for an investor, if it doesn't cost $1,000, it doesn't even reach my radar. And so to do like a hole in the wall, car costs you about $40, right? So to do a whole sheet of putting it up new. Now you do a little bit more work when you're patching a hole, but a new sheetrock for cost and labor are about $25 a sheet. So if you're going to do a basement. You're going to do, installed. So if you're going to go, you can go around, you can count, okay, it's going to cost me how many sheets to go in there. It costs a little bit more to actually repair it. So a lot of times what they'll do is you'll go in, you'll have a hole, and if it's big enough, sometimes the easiest thing down is take the whole sheet down, the whole new sheet back up, and then mud it and tape it and everything. So holes in the wall are very inexpensive, unless termites created that hole. Right. or water. Those are the big ones. Yeah, water's the big one. Water is the death of every home. If you're a homeowner here or you've been in the house, water has so many different ways of invading your house. I see so many houses destroyed from water. And the one house, I'm really sad. On the other house, I'm making a lot of money, so that's great, right? But for you personally, watch out for the water. Water be in the roof, be in the basement, be in the crawl space, be in the walls. Find it everywhere. To renovate a bathroom, and that $1,500 is to totally gut and renovate a bathroom. So
fixtures and everything.
Fixtures, everything,
Tile?
everything. I wouldn't put not tile, not tile. You probably bump that up to about $2,000 if you're going to put tile in there, right? So while now if you try to go have someone out, some of these prices are if you try to go have someone out. You call them up in the yellow book and whatever, or uses the yellow book, and have them come out. You're not going to be able to get them to do your bathroom for $1,500, right? But it's actually very inexpensive to get the materials, and once you're a real estate investor and do it on a regular basis and find the right people, it's not expensive at all. A very top of the line bathtub is $400. A toilet's $125. A vanity's $125. Right? So you've gotten all the major things that you need. Now you just need a mirror, which you can get for $20. You can get a toilet dispenser and something to hold your towel, and that's really all you're doing on your flip. And so you're into materials for that bathroom for about $800, and that's if you get some really nice stuff. You can get some not really nice stuff and go all the way down to $500 and get all those things, right? So then you've got a lot of room for the labor to get that done. And so $700, labor's probably in this area for good carpenters, maybe $150 a day. So if you say, hey, they can go in there and redo this bathroom in 3 days, that's $450 plus whatever you're paying for materials. So this is a pretty good indication. And the truth is, you can get all these cheaper than what I have them up here. But I'm a conservative guy. I always put the most expensive in, part of my formula. And then when it goes wrong, because I tear that bathroom apart and I find a problem, I don't curl up in the corner and cry because I got it all built in. Upgrade electrical panel. If you're going to do this one, if you're going to put a heat pump, a lot of people, new investors, will miss this one. If you'll got a heat pump with ductwork, I almost guarantee that you don't have a 200 amp panel in your home. 200 amps is the amount of voltage that comes across that electrical panel. You need to upgrade that. You need to have a professional. You need a permit. Kind of a big deal. So when you walk in and see baseboards, it's $8,500, not just the heat pump. You got to think about how you're going to supply the energy to that heat pump. I see a lot of new investors make that mistake, and they get that bill and they're a little upset.
And some of those electrical panels still have glass fuses in them, which FHA won't.
Yes, yes, I have seen some glass fuse panels, and those just have to be totally gutted and redone, and then that will be additional to that $2,000. But if you go into one of those homes, I suggest you call a professional electrician to make sure that you know what you're getting into.
But if you've got baseboard in there and you're putting in a heat pump and you're pulling that baseboard out, won't that free up some of your
It does, but I've just found that it'll end up being, normally those baseboards will be on 100 amp or it'll be 150, but you're going to do something in the kitchen. And almost every time that I've had to take baseboards out, I've had to upgrade that panel. The only time I haven't is when maybe they have a shed in the backyard, so they needed to upgrade to give electricity to that shed, and then they'll have a 200 amp box for you. So as you become an investor and you're walking through that house, I'd open up that electrical box, find out where it is, and look at it. If you see fuses that Roger was talking about, you go get a professional electrician to come in and take a look, because you probably have to redo the wiring in the walls as well if it's that old. All right? So those are expensive, but they're all just a problem. It's all just a line item on your investment. Remember, you're not the electrician. You're not going to do it. Right? Adding a bathroom. You can add a bathroom for about $2,500, and that includes all the plumbing and all the piping. So you can go from a closet to a bathroom for about $2,500. That's probably a pretty fair market. Anybody have any questions on prices that I've missed? I just kind of listed it that you're personally concerned about. I know we got the sheetrock one.
But when you're referring to the bathrooms, you're referring to the full baths.
Full bath, that's correct.
Half bath, what, 15?
Well, no, because you mean without the shower? Without the shower? Yeah, you still have to run a lot of those lines. You know, you don't have to run the line and the trap for the bath itself. So you get some discount, right? You're not buying the bathtub, right? You're not buying the shower. That's $400. So, but you are still running those lines. So I would say you're probably looking at $2,000. You know, maybe $2,500. Excuse me, maybe $1,500 per half bath. And then when you're running them upstairs, you have to travel through your house. And don't forget, you're going to tear apart all your sheetrock on the way. So don't paint your house before you put the bathroom in. You laugh, but